Welcome to Cowboy Ranch Life YouTube channel. Hopefully y'all enjoy the upcoming video. Alright guys, so we're working on our Kuhn Knight Vertical Max 5156 mixer today, and we broke our chain in it, which I'll show you in a second, but I thought I would kind of catch you up to date. We're trying to get the new chain in it because the old chain was bent and broken so bad that even if you did repair it, we didn't have the pieces, and so instead of buying new pieces to repair an older chain, we just went ahead and bought the whole new chain, if you can see that. Very pricey endeavor, unfortunately, but nevertheless, so we took this plastic piece out, which is right there. There were 3 Allen head screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them, that go and hold this, adhere this on, and they were all back there. They have a little nut holding them on in each of the holes right there. So nevertheless, then we pounded out the pin. You can see that there's a pin that holds the chute, or the fold down chute piece, onto the main slide chute. And we pounded that out halfway to get ourselves some room to wiggle and move and manipulate it and move it around so we can pull the new chain through. That's something that if you're going to replace or repair a chain and you're going to pull it out of the chute, what you need to do is you need to take string, whether it's baler string, mule tape like this is, or etc., and run it back through where your old chain was. Now how we did it, we just adhered it to the old chain, and when we pulled the old chain out, it put the string in place of the old chain, and then when you're going to put the new chain in, it just pulls it right back through in the exact same place. That saves you from having to feed it, and unfortunately it's about impossible to shove a chain through that area, so you always have to pull it, and when you have to pull it, that is why you use string. Now the reason we took all this apart, pounded the pin halfway out, took the plastic out, etc., is because we're having issues pulling the chain through because they were hitting these plastic blocks. They're wear blocks, they're meant to be there, but they are square edged and they do hit, so that's why we had to take that apart. So hopefully we can clean this up. I'm going to blow it all out, take emery cloth and sandpaper, and clean that all out there, just smooth it all up, so then when it comes back through that hole it goes easily. So nevertheless, as you can see, the chain, and I'll show you the old one in a minute, and some tips on how to tell if you've bent it or broke it. Obviously if you've broke it you would know, but if you've bent it and it's all beyond repair, I'll show you guys kind of a little bit of how to tell that. So here's the old chain, and like I said before, it was bent up and broke. You guys can see that. Maybe I can step back and you can see it easier. It's actually running that direction. It's like it's all twisted and kinked. You can see this, it ripped this off. Ripped up in there off, if you can see that. Right there, ripped another one off. You can see this also. See how the chain's all binding? It's like it's not free. There, it broke in the middle finally, but that's all supposed to be real easy to work with, and it's all kinked and bent up so it won't even bend right. So to replace that, we would have had to replace back in there. That all would have been junk. To find a new piece like that, you can order a new piece, but then the new piece is putting stress on the old piece, and then more of the old piece is likely to break. And especially since one piece of the old already broke, and it was just in a random spot, probably the rest of it's pretty worn out and going to go pretty quickly, so that's why we just replaced it with all new. Alright guys, so we got the bar all clean, if you can see that. There's still a little bit of rust on it, but we got the majority of it clean. I just used emery cloth. I don't even know what grit it is. Whatever that means, if that means anything to anybody. But anyway, use that. Fine grit, use this rough grit. Then I use stainless steel wool. That helps as well to clean it. So now we're just going to blow all this junk out of here, get it all cleaned up, and go from there. Alright, now that we got it all blowed out, I thought I would kind of show you guys how some of the mechanisms work on this. On this end, we have our drive motor, hydraulic drive motor, with our gears, if you can kind of see that. I know the sun's kind of facing wrong, but anyway, we've got our hydraulic drive motor with our gears. It slides up through there. The wear points on this one to keep the belt down, or the chain down, is right there, and right over here on the other side. Then you can see down in there, there's some square plastic wear points where the chain returning will wear. And on this side, we've got two plastic round wear points here, just to keep it. Really, the goal on these plastic pieces are that they're replaceable and they don't wear into your metal. They're easier to replace. So you've got this plastic piece and then this plastic wear point over here. As you can see, this one's a lot more worn, and then of course there's this plastic one, but as you can see, it is just about gone, honestly. So that's fixing to get replaced sometime shortly, I'm sure. Then to tension your chain is right here on the chain tensioners. There's one on either side, and we'll show you how that works in a minute. Alright, so we're driving this pin in. I don't know if you guys can see it moving or not, but driving this pin in that holds the flip down chute onto the rest of it. Alright guys, so we got the new chain put in, plastic put back, pin, big long pin driven in and put into place, and we put the chain together. We got our links put in with a little cotter pins, if you can see that. So we got that all put together, so now we're just tightening the chain up so we can get the slack loose. If you can see it, it's already moving. And here's the tensioners, if you can see that in there. There's one, we'll go to the other side. And really you're just tightening it and pulling them back.
How's that feel, Dad?
We also turned our wear blocks over. That's something that you need to do, so then you can keep rotating them in all four of them corners, so then you don't wear on the bolts at all, and you just keep wearing on the plastic blocks. Those are also replaceable, but just something that's a wear point that you can exchange or rotate, so that it saves you some time and money in the future. Dad's just tightening and checking, make sure that all the rollers turn correctly. We're having some trouble with one of the plastic rollers. It's locked up on us and we're having some trouble getting it to turn. You can see these plastic rollers there. There's a gray one there, and then on the other side there's also one, and that one's just a little hard turning, so we're trying to get it fixed so it turns and doesn't just wear off one side of it, because it's supposed to wear in a circular pattern.